I had a pretty long-term boyfriend, but things hadn't been right for a while and I really wasn't sexually attracted to him anymore. I know this really isn't an excuse to cheat, but it happened, a few times, and I didn't really feel guilty. For about a year I'd been in contact with and flirting with the guy I cheated with, because he was also my boss, but that was more for the thrill of it and because I never saw him, it didn't really seem like anything. It was back in Easter when I went for what I thought was a friendly drink with him, but before I knew it, I was staying over at his place having had a long night of sex and not much else. I thought it would be the only time, but I couldn't help myself going back for more, not least because the sex was outrageously good, but it was thrilling and no one had a clue. Things escalated quickly and it got to the point where I had to end things with my boyfriend because I felt so bad and realized I was being a massive bitch. The worst part is I've been cheated on before and now how horrible it can be, so I've never admitted it to anyone. I've quit that job now as well.
I confronted my girlfriend with my suspicions about her cheating with her friend at a party a few months ago while I was out of town on business. She begins telling me a story of how she needed to go to the bathroom but the door didn't lock properly, so she told her guy friend to stand in front of the door while she takes care of business. Then apparently her guy friend walked in as she was pulling up her pants and her initial reaction was "OMG, WTF are you doing?" He replied, "I thought you wanted to hook up," to which she laughingly replied, "Why would you think that? You have a beautiful fiancé at home and you know I have a BF," and he said it, and they shared a good laugh then went back to partying as if it was one big misunderstanding. This obviously did nothing to put my suspicion to rest, so I decided to message her guy friend and straight up ask him about this misunderstanding. I assured him that I had no intention of spilling the beans to his fiancé, I just wanted the truth. Initially he plays the fool, acting as if he doesn't have a clue about this misunderstanding in question, outright denying that he was even at the party. We go back and forth. Eventually he admits there's a possibility he could have been at the party and may even have a vague idea of this drunken misunderstanding, but he is absolutely certain nothing happened, or in his own words, not a pinky was touched. Come to find out, my girlfriend messaged him shortly after I initially did, and it read word for word, "Please tell him about last summer. When I asked you to stand in front of the door because it didn't lock and you told Logan you thought I meant I wanted to hook up. If not, he's going to tell your fiancé." He initially plays the fool as he did with me, insisting he has no idea what she's talking about and that she must thinking of a different time back before he was engaged. She replies verbatim, "I promise I didn't tell him that anything happened. I just told him about that misunderstanding and he assumed we actually hooked up."
My mom cheated on my dad to make me. So my mom was great, hardworking and all that, but unfortunately died around May 2018 when I was 12. About a year ago, I stumbled into my dad's closet looking for a jacket to wear on a coldish day. 60 degrees is cold in Texas, when I saw a journal that I felt like I just had to read. Curiosity got the best of me. I got to reading and discovered that my dad wrote down saying my mom cheated 9 months before I was born. My dad wrote down that she broke down saying she's sorry that she cheated and told him she was pregnant, but my dad apparently got a vasectomy after their 4th child, and the baby. I don't know how to feel about it. Of course I love my dad and still think about him as my actual birth dad, and that won't change ever, but I feel like I can never see my mom the same way. My siblings have no idea that I'm technically a half-sibling to them, and I have no idea how to tell them or tell my dad about how I know. Any chance my dad ever tells me, and it saves me from telling him out of nowhere. Does he have a plan to tell me? I turn 18 in 23 days, and want to see if he tells me before I go to college. Do I ever even tell him I know if he doesn't?
I am in an on and off relationship with a man that I don't know how to walk away from. The worst part is I think I am the side chick. I don't know how it got this far. I was manipulated little by little. He told me his child's mother was a one-night stand and she got pregnant. About a year later, he said she was a summer fling. Now I'm unsure they've ever broken up. I do believe him when he says they haven't had sex since his daughter was born. But I think she thinks they're in a relationship even though he doesn't. He says he hates her guts, but I think he wants her. They are at a cottage right now, vacationing. I just need to move on. I know the child comes first, but is being at a cottage with baby mama when you say you hate her necessary? The child is 8 now. TBH, I think they both use the child as a pawn in a weird dynamic. He said they have cottage trips planned all summer. He lives alone. I go to his home like every day. If I knew from the start they were more than a one-night stand, I'd never have got deeply involved with a man with a kid. We slept together last night and he kept talking about how much he hates her. Today I feel dumb. Why do I feel this way? Why can't I leave? Also, I think he's better than me. Not sure how to change that.
I have a twin sister, and we never really got along. Her name is Jamie, and she is a foul witch. She has always tried to ruin my life, from ripping up my clothes to dating people she knew I had a crush on. One time I had fallen down a hill and gotten a pretty deep cut on my leg, and she tried squeezing lemon into it. But this story is not about a horrible twin, it's about a horrible twin and a bad boyfriend. I had met Alan at a book signing. From that second, I knew he was the one. Fast forward 2 years later, I had invited Alan to come celebrate Christmas with my family because I couldn't stop talking about him, and they wanted to meet him. We decided to celebrate Christmas in a cabin. It all started with a game of Monopoly we decided to play after Christmas dinner. We were all in our Christmas PJ and sitting on the floor with our hot chocolates. The game created tension after angry and heated arguments, mostly between me and Jamie. Then she started to flirt with Alan. I finally burst and screamed at Jamie, "I hate you so much, I wish I swallowed you in the womb, you effing failed experiment." I stormed out to the bathroom. The worst part is nobody came to check on me. I was in that bathroom for what felt like hours. I finally came out to go to the bedroom me and Alan shared in the cabin. When I see Jamie and Alan doing the oinky oink. Doggy style. Anyways, I broke up with Alan and bit the crap out of Jamie really hard. So hard that now I'm in prison and my niece is writing this for me in a prison visit. I love you, Aunt Jenny.
I think my mom is having an emotional affair and I need advice. I looked through my mom's messages and was extremely disappointed in what I found. For context, ever since my mom went out to lunch with her male coworker, my dad has been suspicious of their relationship. I was curious, so I asked her if she had a crush on him and she said not really, but admitted she found him attractive. I let it go after that, until she started acting unusual. The other day I looked at her phone to check the time and her messages with said coworker happened to be open on the screen. She got super defensive and started questioning me and asking me if I was scrolling through their messages. That's when I got skeptical and decided to take it a step further. Today I decided to look through her messages with the coworker. I noticed they talked very frequently, my mom usually starting the conversation for no specific reason, just checking in. One of the messages read something like, "Mom, how are you so cute, coworker, I'm blushing." There were also multiple uses of winking faces and it honestly made me sick. I saw in the messages that they had gone out multiple times in just a month. Now I am stuck. I'm really close with my mom, but I don't have a good relationship with my dad. I feel like he should see the messages, but I don't want to be the one at fault for the possible ruin of their marriage. If my mom found out I went through her phone and exposed her to my dad, it would ruin our relationship too.
I cheated on my husband for 3 months with my best friend who was also married, so I didn't just cheat on my husband but also lied and stabbed his wife in the back. The reasons for this betrayal are something I am still trying to unravel through my individual counseling. It was 5 months ago, and if there can be any saving grace in my story, it is this part, where I admitted everything to his wife and gave her whatever messages and pictures I still had in my possession and then blocked my AP. And then I finally confessed to my husband about the affair. I still remember his face when I told him, and it will be etched in my memory forever. I realized in that moment just what I am capable of, and it was not a good feeling. He didn't deserve that, and I was going to do everything in my power to heal him and myself too. I started counseling 4 days after my confession and started reading anything I could find on infidelity, its reasons, and how to help my husband recover, all the while not drowning in my own shame but make some real progress both personally and in my relationship. I won't say we are healed, but we are in a much better place as compared to 5 months ago, and I have high hopes for what we are building. The aesthetics of our new relationship are not as shiny as our last one, but it's the foundation we are focusing on this time. He deserves my best version, and he will get it.